welcome back to the series on basically an introduction to Python for absolute beginners. Today we're going to be getting started with setting up an email account so you can use it to email out automated emails. And so we're going to be using Gmail for this, and we're going to be using something called the SMTP protocol, which is a way of sending emails. And we're gonna talk about how to get there as well. So here I'm looking at basically a unused account that I don't really use, so we can use it for our example here. We're going to be using Gmail because most people have Gmail, so it makes sense to do it this way. But do note that for Google there is a limit. I believe the limit is 500 emails per day and 20 emails per second or something like that. But basically you can't send emails too fast and you can't send too many emails. But other than that, there's not too much to worry about. And the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to myaccount.google.com. Let me zoom in for you. And we're going to want to go to the security tab on the left side. And we're going to want to enable two-step verification. So I'm going to click Get Started. And it's going to ask for my password. Okay, so you're going to want to basically set up two-step verification, and then after you set up two-step verification, you're going to want to go to @passwords. So an option will appear called @passwords. I'm not going to set it up here because I don't want to set up two-step verification for what is essentially a throwaway account. But you can set this up, and you're going to need to save the password that is displayed, and you need to use it later, and we'll get there as well. Okay, next we're going to want to take a look at our code. So I'm going to open up Visual Studio Code. I will make this bigger so you can see it. Sorry for the sudden color change. And we're going to open up our old app.py, which we have previously looked at. And so first of all, we're going to talk about the format of how an email is sent. And so the way first of all, we previously talked about actually strings, and we said I could set A to hello world by encasing it in quotes. But you can actually use triple quotes in order to make a multi-line string. And this is how you do it. Basically, you begin with the big quotes, and then you end with the small quote, or the other big quotes. And we can say this is, our email. And the first line of our string needs to be from, and then to, and then subject, and then our actual body text goes here. And so, for example, my test email address may be, something that it could be, test or example at example.com, and I'm sending it to example at example.com. My subject is example subject, and this would be my email. So other things we're going to want to look at is we're going to want to set a username and set a password. And we'll get to these in just a second, but this is going to be your @password that you set and your Gmail username. And we're going to talk about how you can actually hide this so you don't accidentally upload your username and password to the internet, as well as, hiding emails and, things like that. But for now, this is basically what we need. And we're going to be using a library that I talked about earlier, which is smtplib. And so I'm going to say import smtplib. And smtplib basically allows us to send an email using the SMTP protocol, which is what Gmail uses. So later we're going to be talking about, so you can actually use a # in front of your text in order to make a comment. And so I'm going to put some comments here. So later we're going to be talking about connecting to Gmail and then sending an email using Gmail. And yeah, so that's going to be it for today's video. Next, we're going to be talking about exactly what kind of content we actually want to put here.